It's Gabriel.
It's Bailey.
And this is CYMK.
Hey, this is Bailey, just cutting in real quick to tell you that the Watson Wonderbox Studio and Gallery is actually days away from its first art exhibition. Join us for the Spook Show happening in October 2023. The opening reception will happen October 5th at 5:30 p.m. The show will be open October 6th and 13th from 9 to 2 p.m. and October 7th and 14th to 10 to 12 p.m. You'll be able to check out amazing artists displaying some spooky artworks just in time for the holiday season coming up, and we are so excited. All right, bye-bye.
Who are we speaking here with today? That was so professional. Never mind.
It was. No, keep it in. Keep it in, editor. Keep it in.
Anyway, my name's Shaydee Watson.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm sorry. Let's just restart.
Can we do...
Jeez.
Do you know how to harmonize?
No, I don't.
Hello.
Hello. That was not good. Not good.
No, it was good.
No, I was actually kicked out of choir in middle school. My teacher was like, maybe there's something better for you to do.
I tried to get into choir, and then I got into band, and then I was like, I don't want to be here, and then I was like, I love it here, so.
I was in band too.
What'd you play?
Trumpet.
Oh my goodness, I was a flute.
You look like you could have been a trumpet.
I wanted to be a trumpet, but I didn't have the right embouchure, and I was like, just give me a chance, coach. You're like,
I don't know what that is. They were like, your lips look like trumpet. I'm
exactly.
Like, I don't know. What does that mean?
You got trumpet lips.
I wanted to play piccolo because it's so tiny.
Oh my goodness. I played piccolo for a little bit. It was hard. It was really hard.
I imagine.
And you played a baritone?
Yeah, they just put me where they needed me.
The big ones?
Well, it was like a marching baritone, so like it was heavy. You had to hold it up like this.
You're lying.
No, I promise.
Oh
You
my
do not.
God.
I wouldn't have not thought baritone. Anyway.
That's literally what I did the whole time.
I faked it a lot. I'm marching on the field. I faked it. I was like,
you could tell from that.
I was like third trumpet, and I didn't want to work hard enough to be like second or first, because then you had to get solos. So I wanted to like be just under, and so. But on the marching field, I was just like doing notes and not blowing or making
it was
sound.
either I play or I march. I can't do both. That's not going to happen.
Same. Anyways, you want to talk about art?
Yeah.
We should probably start the episode.
Hi, my name is Shaydee Watson, and I work at the San Angelo Museum of Fine Arts. I have been here, believe it or not, to me it sounds crazy, 9 years.
Oh, no.
9 years,
That's like half my life. That's literally half my life.
Oh, wow.
I have had 2 children since being here, and I have 3 girls. So I have 3 children. I'm an artist. I practically work full time, and I wear a lot of hats. And so at the museum, I have around 5 job titles. I'm graphic designer, preparator, which is hanging and displaying the artwork, laying it out in the galleries. I do a little bit of collection assistance to our collections manager, and then I am the Oak Street Galleries manager, which is their public galleries that any artist can rent. And I am also the cultural district manager. So squish that all in a 5-day week.
That is a lot, yeah. Are you exhausted?
Yeah, and then I go home and, pick up my mom hat.
Yeah, and you find time somehow to do art in between.
Yeah. So the only time I can do art is once my toddler goes to bed.
So
is that nighttime or just like...
Oh, yeah, absolutely. From like 8, maybe 8, mostly 9 until like 10:30.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I stay up late. So you guys have no excuse not to do art, because look how I squeeze it in.
Right.
So what kind of art are you working on right now?
So I started a slightly bigger piece, what I consider bigger for myself. So most of my work is around 2 inches by 2 inches. And the piece I started last night is 6 inches by 6 inches. And it's in a shadow box. So it's one of my shadow box pieces.
I love Shady shadow box pieces, specifically.
And this one I'm doing something different. So we can talk about the dot work that I do, but I'm putting my dots a little bit closer in one section of the piece just to see how it looks, instead of it haphazardly dotted to fill in like a black section. I'm kind of doing a wave, but they're really close.
Oh, so like the background, but denser.
But yeah,
that's cool.
It's something
I was like, why have I not tried this? So
something new, something exciting.
Yeah, and that one's a frog. But I think I posted about that. So
I did see that.
it was a little sketch of a frog.
Is this for an upcoming art show?
No, this is just because I have to keep creating.
Gotcha.
You have to get it out of your head, you know? I just have to.
Yeah.
You probably understand that.
And I'm sorry.
No, you go.
The works that are kind of like that always kind of turn out better, in my opinion.
Yeah, things that you enjoy, things that you like. I have had some artist friends ask me, what can I create that will sell? And I'm like, that's not how you should be approaching this. I mean, occasionally, yeah, if you need to do a commission or whatever, but if there's something that you really enjoy or a genre or, you know, if whatever, create what you enjoy and what you like, because your heart goes into that. And then when someone sees it and they like it, oh gosh, just look at your eyes when they light up talking about it, you know, and then that right there is what people are interested in.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my assemblage pieces because they're kind of weird and crazy. So my dot pieces are more planned and organized, and you know, each little dot has a place, and I permanently put it there and think about it. But my assemblage pieces are kind of chaos, and it's completely opposite. And I just love that about them. It's like, let me dig through this pile of junk and glue some stuff to it or wire some stuff to it and see what happens.
Where do you find the papers and stuff that go into your collage work? Do you just go from magazines and stuff?
I do. So I have some vintage magazines.
Okay, because I can never find any good vintage ones. I just find
so I have
regular ones.
A giant Tupperware box of vintage magazines that my husband's mother gave us. So I kind of hoard them, and they're like National Geographic and like kid magazines from the 80s, and they're so much fun. But then like my kids' toys that are broken or discarded, I gather that stuff up, and then I find stuff on the ground too, just walking around. You know, it's like, oh, look at this cool rusted screw or whatever, and I just kind of piece it together.
I've also noticed that you'll make little mini like cheese or like mouses, like little tiny minis yourself out of what, polymer clay?
Okay. Oh. Yes. And I've made some frames, some tiny frames recently out of polymer clay too, and they're really fun. Creative. But the two pieces at the Artist for Artist show, one is called Gathering Wizard, and he's a really fun guy. He has eggs, like they're not scrambled, they're over easy, that's what it's called, on his head, and he's got this net, a spider web net that he catches things in the universe.
Oh, that's cute.
I know that sounds weird.
No, I love it.
And then the other one is called Franken Friends, and it's Frankenstein and a rabbit, and it's like how you make friends with complete strangers. And there's all these keys hanging off of it because there's keys and steps that you do when you meet someone.
I've seen a lot of keys in your pieces.
Yes,
and I really like them.
Just happened, and I now want to put a key in my piece. Like, it's like, oh, this one doesn't have one. What's wrong with it? And I have a new one that nobody has seen.
Oh, exclusive. Secret.
It is, and I can't wait to share it sometime.
We're not going to get a secret.
I am going to tell you, I'll tell you a little bit about it, okay, because I'm so excited. I haven't named it, but I think I'm going to call it something like Twisted or something like that, because I've always really loved the movie Twister.
Oh.
Okay, and Wizard of Oz. I love the black and white part of Wizard of Oz is always my favorite part. There's great things about the colored part, but the tornado and all that. So it is a tornado piece.
Oh my goodness! Is it going to be with a collage, or is it going to be?
It does. It's painted. The tornado is painted, and then I have collage things coming off of it.
Oh, that's going to be so neat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So I know we talked about your current art you're working on now. Tell us a little bit about stuff you either did in college or stuff you were working on before you discovered your collage and dot pieces.
Sure. So in college, you have to take a little bit of everything. And my degree was for graphic design because that was my fallback. Like, what can I actually make a paycheck on? But I really did like printmaking. And I thought that was going to be the class. It was like, oh, this is it. This is what I'm going to do because of the high contrast with the black and whites. And it kind of, some of the collage stuff that I currently do, I kind of was doing with that.
Yeah.
And I kind of got a little passionate about that. But then you also have to have a press and anyway. And so I was like, oh, I can't afford that.
Yeah.
So then along came drawing class, which is where I learned about charcoal. And man, that's a lot of fun. I would still probably do a lot more of that if I had, time.
And it wasn't so messy.
And it wasn't so messy. Not necessarily time, because I do have that. I make time. But children going, I want to help you with the charcoal. Anyway, so charcoal was a lot of fun, though, because you can do a lot of high contrast, too. A lot of black and whites. And I would use the charcoal, but then I would use chalk, just like regular school chalk, But, again, that's kind of a big medium. So I still just kind of dabbled, and I painted. And I was painting a lot before I had kids, and then everything just kind of stopped. But so discovering what my passion was and where I was going to go was still up in the air in college. But I did do a stippling piece in college, which now, I look back on and go, oh my God, that's amazing. Why didn't I think that one was the one?
Yeah.
But it just wasn't
and
to
you
me
came
then.
back around to it just kind of naturally. So what was the piece you did in college, a stippling piece?
Oh, it's like, I don't think I even named it, but it's Dita Von Teese's head, as odd as this is, on Betty Boop's body. And then it says the word burlesque behind it.
Yeah.
And it's all just dot work.
Let me just say, I've seen it. Super cute.
It is super cute. It's super precise. I was questioning it.
The one thing I really love about all your pointillism.org pieces is you don't realize how tiny all the little details are until you see it in person.
I will say that what you see, if I post a picture on Instagram or whatever, what you see on there really doesn't.
I really didn't mean it like that at all.
No, I didn't take it that way. But it doesn't. The picture I posted on Instagram does not represent at all actual what it looks like. I did have a show where I had magnifying glasses for people to look at my works, because some of those dots are so small.
Do you ever use a magnifying glass too?
Yes, I do.
Goodness.
I'll give y'all a photo of me.
Okay.
Don't you have glasses that have the magnifying?
Like in Toy Story?
Yes, I do.
That's so funny.
But that's what I was trying to say is in person you really see all the little details, and it's really amazing to see.
I want to ask a question back to the preparator part of your job.
Okay.
So whenever you're hanging up a gallery, how do you know that it's finished? Or how do you know where things go or where the eye should be attracted to? Because one thing I can think of is whenever we had the annual ceramic show, and we had the teapots on the wall. How do you know the teapots are supposed to go on the wall and on that wall and not the wall right when you walk in or the one?
So for that show, a lot of that is based on who our invited artist is. So if we have an invited artist, we always make sure that they're prominent first. But if we have, let's say it's just one artist in a gallery, in one of our larger galleries, the first thing you always do is start with big pieces, the largest pieces in the room, or the most colorful or prominent pieces. Because when a guest walks in that gallery, you want them to be immediately drawn in. And so you usually put that piece, that big piece or that really bright colored piece, on the back wall. So it pulls them all the way into the gallery. And then they'll make their way around or, kind of wander. But that's where you start, big pieces. And then you work down. And then once you get your walls done, you can kind of do your sculptures and pedestals and things.
Okay, cool.
So how long have you been doing the preparator hat, as you say?
So I've been doing that here at the Art Museum for 9 years. Before that, I came in as an intern doing it, and I did that for 6 months. And
unpaid intern?
I kind of had a little pay. It was very small amount.
That's
it
better
was
than
something,
nothing.
yeah. And I really didn't care. I just wanted to get in the door and learn the craft. And that's how I got my foot in the door here, honestly, is my internship.
Yeah. And then you actually left for a little bit and then came back, right?
Yeah, I left. I thought, oh, great. I've got 6 months under me. I can take on the world, honestly. And I moved to Dallas. Yeah, I moved to Dallas hoping to work at the DMA. But, they don't really, it's you got to have so much experience. So I did a bunch of other different things. But while I was in Dallas, I did learn how to frame. I worked at a frame shop, which comes in handy now because I know what I know at the Art Museum.
You're the go-to when I have a frame question. And if somebody else has a frame question, I'm like, Shaydee, you're going to ask her.
It's really funny how you kind of pick up these little experiences along the way that add up to your, here I am at the Art Museum and I know how to do this and that and this and that. And it's I had no idea that was going to be a thing. When I was in Dallas, I worked at the Dallas Arboretum, and the artist Dale Chihuly had an exhibit at the Dallas Arboretum.
That's cool.
And so we had his glass work. So because of my background, my boss, my manager, put me in charge of handling the artwork, which was anywhere from $3,000 to $15,000-$16,000
A fragile glass.
My gosh.
of a sculptural piece, maybe 6-7 inches tall, and it really not big at all.
Goodness.
But because of who he was and his, fame and experience, they were very pricey pieces. So that's me walking from the front of the gift shop through tons of guests, holding this expensive piece, walking all the way back, packaging it up, and sending it out and mailing it. But it was another one of those experiences and just skill that I learned before I got here. And so it was really neat, like how that all worked out, framing and handling artwork. And
yeah, I'm terrified to even pack up a canvas and ship it, much less a fragile $16,000 Chihuly.
Well,
So-
with artists too, you never know. Some of them really don't care if it breaks. They're like, oh, whatever, I have insurance on it.
Oh, okay.
They have insurance. But some of them, oh man, you better not even look at it wrong. So the best way is just to, talk to the artist. You can kind of fill them out and read them a little bit. And then you're like, okay, you should always handle artwork like you're going to, it's like $1 million. But talking to the artist too, they're like, it's okay. That one's actually broke 3 times somewhere else. I'm like, oh, okay.
That's so interesting. That's crazy. I've never heard that before from you. So something new and exciting.
So you can't, and when you're handling artwork, you really can't think of, the price or what it, you have to just handle it like it's yours. Honestly, I handle all the artwork at the museum like it's mine.
I was once helping take down, I think, the ceramic exhibit that we had, and I had shoes on, and there was like a tile that was lifted, and I tripped while I was holding one of the pieces.
Oh my gosh.
And Laura, if you're hearing this, no, I did not trip. You should hire me. But oh my gosh, I freaked out, and I just kind of had to sit down, and I was like, oh my
Did you
gosh.
cradle it with your body and?
But then I was too scared to have it touch my clothes, but also to hold it out in front of me, and so I was.
But it was
a
fine.
very
You just make
long
the
walk.
best decisions. Obviously, you don't need to be picking at it or rubbing your hands on it because, you have oil on your hands. But
I think I had gloves on.
you just make the best decisions and know what you're holding and just be careful. Don't take stairs when you're holding an artwork. Take the elevator or whatever. But yeah.
It's almost like if I know I need to be that careful, I'm gonna mess up.
Because you psych yourself out.
in my head is like, well, you're gonna trip and fall, so you'll just have to make peace with it.
That's not good. No, you're not supposed to do that. You're already setting yourself up for failure.
That's my life, buddy.
You've got this, Bailey. You've got this.
Just don't hand me anything. You've seen me how clumsy I am. Don't hand me anything. Don't hand me a Chihuly.
Anyway,
Well, Shaydee,
we had a lot of fun.
where can we find you on social media, your art pages?
Sure. So the best.
Never mind, actually.
Actually, no.
Yeah, you don't get to say
Don't
it.
look around.
And goodbye.
So the best place to find me is on Instagram, honestly. I feel like a lot more artists are on there. And my handle is Watson Wonderbox, which I could explain if you want to know. But you can also find me Watson Wonderbox on Facebook. And then my website is ShaydeeWatson.com.
I have a website.
I do.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but websites are, that's somewhere to go.
Instagram's cool these days.
Totally, man. It's totally cool.
I do totally cool websites. But
I will tell you, so Watson Wonderbox came to me because I decided that all my artwork was mostly in squares at the time, and anything could be in that. It could be, your imagination. It's up to you. And so it's a box, and it's full of wonder, and it's Watson.
I
Watson
love that.
Wonderbox. So that's where it
anything
came
could
from.
be in the box.
Anything could come into that box.
And when you're making your art, you think outside of the box.
I do. Bam.
that was my brain exploding.
Okay. All right. Thank
Shaydee,
you so much.
thank you so
Shaydee.
much for enduring,
Enduring.
for putting up with, for accepting.
And once we mentally prepare, maybe there'll be a Shaydee part 2.
Yeah.
That'd be a lot of fun. Thank you, guys. So, yes, we're doing an update.
Update time.
Update.
What's going on? What is so new and exciting for you, Miss Shaydee Watson?
Okay. So since the last recording, I did get in the Raw show, which was exciting. Yay. It's currently up. I don't know how long this is going to be up, but anyway, it's up through June 24th and my piece is in there and it's super weird, but,
Why is it weird?
Because it's not typical of my dot work, I think that I spoke of before. This is an assemblage piece. And so it's got found objects in it, along with some other, actually it does have some of my dot work in it. The poppies are some of my dot work. But
It's a mixture.
yeah. So it's at the Raw show, the Bloom show, which is exciting. And my husband and I just got our own studio gallery space.
Yay!
Woo. So it's at 502 Orient Street, which is across the museum, across Avenue A, kind of in the Old Town Historic District, actually.
That's so exciting.
Yes. So we've had it for the month of May. That's all we've been in is May. And all we've been doing right now is painting. Oh my gosh, we've been painting so much painting.
How are you painting?
But well, it's very boring because it's going to be a gallery space because we want the focus to be on the artwork and not the walls. So
it's like half studio, half gallery?
it will be studio gallery together because the way the building is so small. And one of the things I love about visiting artists is seeing their space where they work. And a lot of times in small spaces, you just have to make do with what you have. So we're actually going to put our working table in the gallery space.
Ooh.
So you can kind of see, oh, this is where maybe the magic happens. But then here on these other walls, there's some artwork. You know, you can see your purchase or whatever.
Really nice. I haven't seen that done before in in anywhere. So you're revolutionary.
We're really looking to push some boundaries in San Angelo that are not happening. We have some really cool exhibit ideas. We've been talking about a lot while we paint the space. So we're really hoping to, change up the community a little bit and get people really thinking.
I love that because so many of the gallery spaces in San Angelo are maybe catered to one or two types of artists here in San Angelo, but there's so many different people with personalities and yours is really going to show.
We really are going to push some of the boundaries. I mean, even like comic artists and, miniatures, like miniature art. I don't know if you've seen like the army men that you see at the store, but there's like a whole world of art based on painting those little tiny, anyways, we want to do something like that, like really push the boundaries and bring.
Like you want to get into miniatures?
Miniatures, yes. All kinds of things. I'm telling you guys, all kinds.
When I was working with Bobby, he was saying he wanted to get into miniature painting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He needed a space. And so now we have a space. And so by the way, Bobby is my husband. I don't think I told you guys that. So it's going to be called Watson Wonderbox. And we're both, Watson. So that's the name of the space. And it's our little box where all the magic happens. So Watson Wonderbox, it's going to be at 502 Orient Street. It was formerly Michelle Cuevas's art gallery. And thankfully she has moved up and moved on. And we're getting an opportunity to take over.
That's awesome. So when can we expect a grand opening?
So we are going to do like a open house kind of scenario. Once the space is nice, because the walls that were in there when she was in there are kind of like this, like rust orange, and it's taking us a lot longer than we expected to paint orange over. So we are so close though, and we just we're going to probably put our work up on the walls in not like a big gallery opening kind of thing, just kind of an open house and like come and look at the space and see what we've made it ours, and then eventually we will have a show or something down the line. But we just want to share with the community, like, look what we've done, and please come visit anytime you see us there. We'll figure out hours of operation and all that, because gosh, we don't even know, on top of that, we have day jobs and children and family. And so we still have a lot to figure out, but it's in the works.
It'll be so great. It'll be so great.
Yeah, we have so many great ideas. I would love to tell you all, but I also want it to be a secret.
Yeah. Keep a little bit of mystery.
Yes, absolute
you're
mystery.
a lot of mystery. I don't know what to expect.
Well, the space is small, so we're going to focus on small works.
Nice.
All the shows that will ever be in there will be small works, unless it's our works, which my work is already small, but my husband husband's is a little bigger. And he does, because you guys don't know, he does a lot of fantasy artwork. Think Dungeons and Dragons and castles and creatures and stuff like that. He loves doing that stuff.
Really like intricate pen and ink drawings,
Yes.
like almost a little bit that reflects some of your dot work style. I know he puts a little bit of like pointillism shading in there sometimes, but like you guys reflect each other a little bit.
Yeah, he just tends to work bigger and creepier. He has these really crazy cool creatures that he makes. He also really likes to do like space like compositions with swirls and stars and kinds of cool stuff like that too.
We need to get him on the podcast.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun. He'd really like that. Oh man, because he could probably talk your ear off about all kinds of stuff. Because he's also a tattoo artist, and a lot of that influences his work. And just for the record, he will not be tattooing in that space because we've been asked that a lot. But no, it's going to be focused on our work.
Tattoo shop like right next to it.
Yeah, a couple doors down. Yeah, in the historic district, and that's another reason why he doesn't want to tattoo, because a friend of his has his own tattoo shop a few doors down, and we don't want to do that. We don't want to create drama. So it's just about the art and the gallery space. It'll be fun.
It's really exciting. Thank you, Shaydee, for sharing that.
Thank you.
Any other updates?
Nope, I think that's it.
All right, bye. Okay, bye guys. Thank you. Thank you so much, Shaydee, for joining us for your update. We are so excited about your new studio space. We can't wait to see what it looks like, see all the wonderful shows that'll be in it.
Thank you so
and we'll
much.
Keep our audience updated on when they can check that out.
Yay. Thank you, guys.